the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me up by the morning. I had me some.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the New Orleans Saints and the San Antonio Express. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game?
Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They go play action here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Carter forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
All right, here we go.
Now Carter to throw on 2nd down. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a 1st down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Here's Carter throwing on 1st down. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Tight end right. Set! Green, 39!
Carter now. From the gun, he'll throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mason. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Set! 3-19! 3-19! Get ready! Get ready! Get ready! Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off it.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Back to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And the ball is knocked out. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
Flex round! Flex round!
Operating from the gun, Mason. And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Here we go!
From the gun, Mason. And he's got his target. That's more. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is good for a 1st down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? the better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mason, and he fires one incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Off the play fake. Mason. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued. Let
me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Green 39! Green 39!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Give me that ball, defense.
Looking to throw. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Joey Bosa coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Detroit! Detroit!
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll be back with more in the NFC title bout after this. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So on fourth down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And with the play clock running out, Sean McVay will take a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. So on now is Johnny Hecker to punt this one away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first two drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as he'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now, as they come up on second and a couple. To throw on second down, Mason. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up, 2nd and 10.
Tight end right. Ohio!
To throw again, Mason. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Flex round!
Operating from the gun, Mason. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Gun!
He'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? Yeah, who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On first down, Mason. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
Looking to throw on second down. Mason. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Mason. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around a 30. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
No. Check. Patriot. Detroit. Gun. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Eluding and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. J.J. Watt able to drop him for a loss of 4.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gun.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Joey Bosa bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Leopard. Detroit.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Yards on the return that time. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Mason. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 44 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard. Line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey. 4 down.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. And now they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. J.J. Watt in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and that'll bring up 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on first and second down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on fourth down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on first and second down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. To Barkley on the check down. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Off play action. Mason. Ebron caught left side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Flex round! Flex round!
From the gun, Mason. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Ohio! Ohio! Come on!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Flushed out right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Yeah, the Saints signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Sua Craven's up to make the stop.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll run it here. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Well, big game there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. That one looks like he'll throw here. Flush to his right. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Busting free at the 10. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left. Great time there to come up with his longest run of the night. We just saw it.
Leads to a lot of satisfaction, because if they're able to hang on and win this game, you know what else will happen in the locker room after this?
What's that?
Head coach will step up and go, great job, guys. Because of that, come in a little bit later tomorrow.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are